Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier kicking off the 50-cent late pick 4 at Santa Anita on Saturday with graded stakes action. We're going 1.25 miles on the turf for race number 7, and it's the Grade 2 Charles Whittingham Stakes. Get involved in this pick 4 with a DRF Bets account. Deposit $100 with DRF Bets. Bet with $250. Let's meet the field of turf runners getting set to go 10 furlongs in the Charles Whittingham. The number 3 Marquis Water might very well be the horse to beat for trainer Richie Baltas. This horse has just gotten in good form in his last 2 races, and he overcame a moderate to slow pace to win his most recent start, defeating a couple of these common rivals.
Yeah, I have to be honest, I was impressed with it, and perhaps at a distance that's a hair shorter than his best. I think he really has taken his game to the next level when stretched out to 1.25 miles, 1.25 3/8, even 1.5 miles. But you brought up that most recent run, ran into Ashley Love Sugar, ran into Tis a Runner. They both had the head start on Marquis Water, slow pace, didn't matter. Marquis Water was able to overcome it all. Look, I like him, but there is a part of me that's starting to wonder, is he a little bit... You know, he's been unlucky in a few instances, but I feel like he should have done better in a run like the San Luis Rey, given the trip that he had. And I understand Epical's a nice horse, but I don't know that he's entirely trustworthy. I like him, but I wouldn't be mortgaging the house on him.
But he certainly fits in this year's edition of the Grade 2 Charlie Whittingham. Definitely on figures, definitely on form. Timeform US believes one of our old friends will be the pace setter, and I would be shocked if Prime Attraction is not on the lead in this 10 furlong Charlie Whittingham. Last time out, they tried bricks and mortar. They got a wet turf course at Churchill Downs. It just didn't work out. Go back to his 2018 Eddie Reed, where he had to battle all the way from the turn to the wire. We all know that Prime Attraction is a nice horse. We all know that he has his quirks and sometimes beats himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, I'll be absolutely flabbergasted if he's not on the lead, especially with the way the pace projector is setting up. But just when you go through it and look, there's really no other confirmed speed other than him. Now, the question is, what version of Prime Attraction are we going to get? I agree with you. Don't hold the Turf Classic against him. His best race is capable of wiring a field like this. I just don't know if you're going to get his best here on Saturday.
And he has not won a race since November of 2017. Some might say that 1.25 miles is pushing it just a bit for Prime Attraction. But if he gets loose, I think he can get the distance. Let's talk a little bit about Morse Code, who is sitting second on our Timeform US pace projector. He is an uncoupled stablemate of Marquis Water, and heck, maybe he goes after the one horse and tries to soften him up for Marquis Water. This is a horse returning to turf. There are some class concerns, but we do have a positive formulator fact for Richard Baltas, a recent one over the past 6 months. With horses 3 and up moving from dirt to turf, 40% winners, a 337 ROI. Still, Morse Code is stretching way out, and he's stepping way up in class.
Yeah, both of those things kind of turned me off. You're right, the blinker's off. You know, interesting sort of move here. I expect him to be part of the early pace situation, especially with the uncoupled stablemate in here who would appreciate some pace to run at. I look at him and I say his best race I don't think is good enough. I'm not convinced about the added ground for him. And to be honest with you, I know he's 2 for 6 on grass. I don't even know what his best surface really is.
The number 4 is Yagata-Wana, and I thought he ran a big race last summer in the Del Mar Handicap going 11 furlongs. My formulator notes have him steadied inside when the winner made a wide brush, shuffled all the way back and steadied to last, altered course widest at the top of the stretch, and he ran second at 40-1. It was a good effort. The problem is he's the kind of horse that can find trouble, and he needs a little bit of pace help, but Phil D'Amato is a fantastic trainer, and we have a formulator fact for Yagata-Wana. Past 3 years, older turf routers going second off the layoff in graded stakes at Santa Anita, 36% winners, a $4.03 ROI. His race 2 back in the San Marcos puts him in the mix from a fig standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. You brought up that Del Mar Handicap. I'll also bring up that John Henry Turf Cup back in September of 18, where I don't think he ever got a full chance to really be let loose. He was just in a little bit of a tight spot, but you hit the nail on the head. This is a horse that has found some trouble throughout his career. I think from a talent standpoint, he's probably right there with the best in here. I would say let the price be your guide. I expect him to move forward second off the bench.
Horse with the most upside potential in this race could be the number 5 United. He's a very lightly raced 4-year-old, and he is coming to hand for trainer Richard Mandella. I liked his win 2 starts back, albeit against only non-winners of one other than competition. He got a nice in-out ride from Drayden Van Dyke, and he won without much fuss. Last time out, they stretched him out to the 2X, and Rafael Bejarano tried a similar in-out trip, only this time he was sort of stuck in behind horses at the 3/16th pole. It took him a while to find some room. assume when he did, he was charging late. I think he has the upside to win a race like this. And check out this Mandela formulator fact over the past year. Older turf routers, third off the layoff, 25%, 286 ROI. The distance is the big question.
I picked him second in here. You're right. He's never gone this far before, but I really liked that run most recently, the N2X run. You're right. He was stacked up and behind horses, finally got into the clear, was able to finish with a flurry. The other thing I found interesting, and Timeform doesn't particularly agree, they didn't do anything with the color coding of the fractions. I thought that the race got real serious going down the backside into the far turn. Seemed like everybody wanted to go for it. And United, sure, he was toward the rear, but to me, that meant that he had to actually run a lot faster in the middle fractions than necessarily he wanted to. To me, he's very, very interesting in here.
Tis a Runner has not won a race since 2017, but I wonder if he's one of those East Coast-based horses that's been shipped out west to make hay in the turf division. He wouldn't be the first, and he ran pretty well in his first start of the year and his first start for trainer Michael McCarthy. He had a very nice trip under Drayden Van Dyke. He saved ground in the pocket. He angled out to split horses. He had a look at it in mid-stretch. Maybe he was just a hair short. He ran a good second that day. I'm not too worried about the additional distance.
I'm not worried about the distance. I think he's going to be able to get it. To me, I still wonder if he's better at slightly shorter distances. He actually at his best is that late kick really accentuated at a flat mile or a mile and a 16th. But I agree with you. If you look at it and say he needed one off the bench, he's an East Coast shipper coming west. He's going to be ready to go second off the bench from McCarthy and company. He's got a big chance.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Grade 2 Charles Whittingham Stakes. I'm going to go with the horse that won this race. Get this. In 2015, and also won this race in 2017. He is the venerable Ashley Loves Sugar. He has won 10 of 33, almost $1.5 million in earnings. And sure, he's not the same horse he was back in 2017, but Ashley Loves Sugar to me can still step. Yes, he had the right pace setup last time out, going 1 1/8 miles. I still like the fight he showed down towards the inside. He likes 1 1/4 miles. If Brice Blanc can get aggressive, I think he can be the one sitting second off of the one horse in the early portion of this race with a fair chance. But I have noticed that he's been wearing a rundown patch on his left rear hock in his last few races, and ever since they put that patch on, which is often a sign that a horse is hitting himself behind, he hasn't won.
Yeah, and like you say, it's been some time. We haven't seen him win a race in, almost 2 years now. So it's a scenario where you know that he has certainly lost something on the fastball. He's running well enough to still be competitive in these types of races. The big concern for me was the most recent run. I know it was at 9 furlongs, and the added ground should only help him. But boy, that pace situation was beautiful. It was laid out for him. The old Ashley Loves Sugar wins that race for fun. And in a situation like this, he couldn't even get second. I had just left a bad enough taste in my mouth. I'll use him underneath. I just want to see if he can still do it at this point, at this level.
You like Marquis Water, the 3, 5-2 on the morning line. I think he is the horse to beat. Give me numbers as we kick off the pick 4.
I don't entirely trust Marquis Water, but I'm picking him. I do think his best race is good enough to get it done. He and United are the two that I was really most interested in. And then the other two horses, the 1 and the 7 from a pace standpoint. So 3, 5, 1, 7 for me.
I'm going 7, 3, 5, and 6. And in the pick, I'm using the 3, the 5, and the 7 in equal weight. It's the Grade 2 Charles Whittingham Stakes. It's a nice card at Santa Anita on Saturday. So you're going to want to get involved with this DRF Bets offer. Deposit 100, bet with 250. Learn more at bets.drf.com. An approximate post time for the Charles Whittingham, 4:03 Pacific. Good luck.